The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 11 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, offering Buick GMC, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, and the resale division, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Penfield, Fairport, Canandaigua, Ontario, and Palmyra, and online at visionauto.com. Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time, we take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 in Monroe County and begin with our honor roll of high school teams. At number 3 this week, Eastridge Boys Lacrosse, a team I think we've never had on this list before. But the Lancers opened with 2 wins in their first 3 games. Joseph DeSalvo scored 5 goals with an assist against Batavia, his first varsity points, while Andrew Doctor had 6 goals and an assist against the Grease Lightning. At number 2, Webster Thomas Boys Lacrosse, a more traditional power, the first 3-0 team in the section. Trevor Ford had 4 goals and 2 assists against Clarence. And at number 1, Spencerport Girls Lacrosse, which opened with an upset victory over Fairport, no less. The Rangers got 5 assists and a goal from Erin Kuykendall, and 5 goals and an assist from Natalie Choate. Which brings us downtown and the city baseball power that is trying to duplicate the imprint it made on the section last spring. This is the year after the year for East High baseball. Last season, you recall, the Eagles were the number 1 seed with an 18-2 regular season. Despite those gaudy numbers, they played in the knowledge that no city team in 36 years had reached the sectional finals. But by beating Churchville, Chili, and Penfield, East got to the championship game.
I think in a lot of ways the kids didn't even necessarily realize what was going on when it was going on, which was probably good in a lot of ways. But they deserved it. They work really, really hard, and they work hard not just during the season but in the off season as well. So to see them be able to accomplish something that very few people thought they would be able to accomplish was just an honor to be able to be a part of that, and it's been my pleasure to be able to work with these kids. They really are an amazing group of kids.
East lost that title to Webster Schrader. The Eagles graduated only 3 seniors, so the year after the year here began with belief along with hard work.
We started working a lot earlier. We started doing workouts in the morning, on Wednesdays morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, waking up for our pitchers and catchers to come work out and get warmed up for the season to start.
When you have success like that, does it make you take yourself a little more seriously that way?
Yes, because we know our potential. We know we can go farther this year.
Jordy Augusto was an All-Greater Rochester infielder last year as a sophomore while batting close to 500. He's the team's cornerstone.
I've been playing since I was 3 years old. My mom and my dad kept me in it, and they're always there with me. Every time I look in the fans, I see them. So it gives me a pride to play every game.
What got you started so early?
I don't know. It runs in the family. All my uncles and all of them played. So it's been there all my life.
Beginning this year, high school baseball will play with a pitch count with a structured rest mandate. For instance, if a varsity pitcher throws between 96 and the maximum allowed 105 pitches in a game, he must get 4 days rest before he can work again. You'd be hard-pressed to find coaches or players who like that rule, but East, with as many as 7 available pitchers, should benefit as the schedule gets crowded.
When I pitch, I had to rest 4 nights so I could pitch again. So it's gonna be hard to work with that.
Do you like it?
No, not at all. I don't like that pitch count rule.
Because you figure you can throw more than they're telling you should be able to?
Yes, I could throw more, and it's gonna affect us a little bit, but not as much because we have a lot of pitchers.
I think it was well intended. Certainly there's no coach that wants to put undue stress and put a pitcher in position to get injured. However, I personally would much more prefer to trust my qualified trainer who has an education and his whole life experience has been working with athletes and preventing them from being able to be injured and helping when they do get injured. I'd rather put my trust in our athletic trainer working with our kids who he knows than someone who from New York State just sat down and randomly put together a policy that I'm not sure is going to be as effective as our personal trainer working with our kids.
Every successful team benefits with a little good fortune along the way, so it is not a given that East can repeat what it did a year ago. But the perception is different, both from the outside and within the Eagle baseball family.
16 years ago when I took over the program, the kids didn't even think they could win. If you don't think you can win, you're not going to win. At least if you think you can win, you have a chance to win. And last year when they really experienced some really nice wins, then that developed some confidence. And so the kids have some confidence this year, but everyone's reminding each other, we have no wins right now. This is a brand new season, and we have a whole lot to prove.
East opened with wins in his first two games, both incredibly no-hitters. A 5-inning job by Joel Alicia against Northeast Douglas, and a combination effort from Pablo Garcia and Sam Sheldon against School of the Arts. Coming up next, HFL's Kevin Neenan joins us in the Dunkin' Donuts Coach's Corner, and later on, the section's best girls lacrosse player returns yet again when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Add a burst of real fruit refreshment to your iced tea or iced green tea. Try Dunkin's new blackberry or mango pineapple fruited iced teas today. America runs on Dunkin'. Welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. It is time now for our Dunkin' Donuts Coach's Corner. We are pleased to be joined by Kevin Neenan, the head basketball coach of the boys at HFL. Kevin, you not only coach here at HFL, you're a graduate from here. You know, class of, I've got down 88. What's it like to be coaching at your school?
It's been great. It's been great to come back to the alma mater where you grew up and got a chance and come back and to work in the programs that you did. I mean, the varsity coach that I played for is a guy I took over for, Tom Flood. So it's been great to come back here and get an opportunity to coach the kids here where I went to school.
Are there associated pressures with that? I mean, everybody kind of knows you. You know, a lot of people still around.
Yep. I mean, there's always pros and cons to everything, but I think being in the community, teaching here, and growing up here, I think has been great. That you know a lot of the community already, and but yeah, there's always pressures to try to keep the program where you want to keep it, and you know, hopefully we're meeting that right now.
How's it going in Monroe County? Because now you're in an interesting spot now that you split your coaching time about 50-50 in Livingston County, where HFL was, and made the transition to Monroe County. How did that go?
When it first happened, you know, everybody was, anytime there's change, I think anybody wonders how it's going to be because you're not sure what's going to happen. But I think once we made that transition, that first year we had a pretty good group coming back. So I think it made the transition seamless to a certain degree. But we did, obviously, when you go, nothing against Livingston County because they had a lot of great teams and they still do. Mm-hmm. I think the depth that we see in the Monroe County teams and the type of schools that we got to go every night makes us better come sectional time.
At the time, how was it received in Honeyway Falls?
I think a lot of people really wanted to make the change. I know there's always a few people that didn't, but I think where we were with our programs, I mean, I think at the varsity level, Livingston County was pretty good at the time. I think it was the younger levels because a lot of kids in Livingston County would be pulled up early, so the modified and JVs weren't really getting quality tests. So I think it was a good move to Monroe County.
Is it a little more, the size obviously, but is it a little more sophisticated? I mean, is there something different that you had to kind of adjust to when making that transition?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I think for the most part, a lot of basketball coaches are gym rats who are out scouting all the time. But I noticed, obviously, we spend a lot of time going out, and I think that's one of the big things with Monroe County. Everybody is there every day doing their homework, and nowadays with huddle and crossover, the amount of games you can see on everybody else, you really got a lot of work to do to try to keep up with everybody, which is fun because I think it's something that's my passion to do.
Good. Went to Cortland State, played some baseball, and you coached baseball.
Yep.
You really got to want to coach baseball to be, I think, driving the distance every day.
Yeah, I do. I coach out of Webster Thomas, and yeah, it is a 30-minute travel for me every day after school. But I really enjoy the game of baseball. I've always loved it. Basketball and baseball have been my passions growing up. And obviously baseball in the spring can always be challenging because I do spend just much time in the gym as I do basketball sometimes the first month.
With a half hour, I mean, it's sort of a double-edged sword, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it's a lot of distance and a lot of time stuff, but there's also that time you can kind of clear your head. The drive can be a little therapeutic.
It is. It's a good time to wind down. I teach elementary phys ed, so, you know, you get a lot of energy from those kids all day, so it's a good chance to kind of wind down and get yourself ready to go and see the high school.
Is energy the word you want to use?
Energy is a word that we tend to use a lot of times with kids. Maybe sometimes have a little trouble trying to stay focused at times, but teaching at that level was great.
Well, great. It's like, you've got it all going for you. You know, we appreciate it. It's good to have you on the Coach's Corner.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Kevin Neenan, the head basketball coach for the boys here at Honeoye Falls Lima in the Dunkin' Donuts Coach's Corner. Coming up, we salute our Wegmans Making the Grade nominee with Kim, and later on, it's another bounce-back year for Maddie Howe at Fairport when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for Making the Grade, brought to you by Wegmans. Wegmans is a proud supporter of Making the Grade, which highlights the accomplishments of Section 5 student athletes on and off the playing field.
Honored for making the grade this week is Penfield's Joanna Gregory. Now, as a senior, Joanna excelled in 2 sports at the varsity level for Penfield. She played basketball and has been a standout volleyball player throughout her high school career. At 6 feet tall, she totaled 120 blocks and 285 kills for Penfield. Her stats and leadership on the court helped her take home first-team All-State honors and celebrated all-tournament team honors as the Class AA state champs. Joanna was also a first-team AGR Award recipient. To prepare herself for the next level, she travels with a club team called Volley FX. As a National Honor Society member, Joanna is well on her way to graduation and has already decided where she'll be continuing her education. She'll be extending her volleyball career as well at Gannon University next fall. For her impressive work in school and on the volleyball court, this week, Joanna Gregory is making the grade.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. You can send them into info@classywolf.com. Now here's Bill with the Fidelis Care Section 5 calendar.
Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages at all stages of life. Quality health coverage. That's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org.
Here's a look at the week ahead. On Monday, a near who's who in Section 5 golf as Locust Hill hosts McQuaid, Victor, Pittsford, Mendon, and Rush Henrietta. The tee-offs are at 3 o'clock. Boys lacrosse on Tuesday, Webster Thomas plays at Fairport at 5 o'clock. And a couple of upstarts square off when Spencerport goes to Eastridge at 5:30. Over on the girls' side, HFL is at Spencerport. That's Thursday at 6:15. Pittsford hosts Corning in a test for the defending sectional champs. That's on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Softball on Tuesday, Fairport's at Mercy. That game is at 4:30. Baseball Wednesday, we have Penfield playing at Victor at 4:30. Track and field, still the dual meet season. On Wednesday, Greece Arcadia runs at Pittsford Mendon, 4:30 start. And there's a tri-meet the following Tuesday that gets underway at 10 a.m. Pittsford, Mendon, and Sutherland compete at Penfield. That's the Fidelis Care Section 5 calendar for the week ahead. Coming up, Fairport girls lacrosse. New coach, familiar cast, when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Sign Impressions is more than just signs. It's a total graphics company. Embroidery, screen printing, team apparel, t-shirts, jackets, hats, and of course banners and signs. Visit signimpressions.com. Call us at 723-0420 to order your team or corporate apparel.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Our Honor Roll of High School Athletes is brought to you by the Injury-Free Coalition for Kids. The Injury-Free Coalition for Kids of Rochester and the Smart Teen Driving Program, funded by the Allstate Foundation, encourages teens to pay attention, not get distracted, and to drive safely. Here's our honor roll of high school athletes. Erica Knapp of Aquinas Girls Lacrosse. The Irish opened with 3 wins. Erica scored 3 goals against Waterloo and then added 6 against Geneva. And number 2, Sydney Brongo of the Spencerport softball team. She opened her season going 4 for 4 with 4 RBI against Albion. And at number 1, Josh Marvold, tennis star at Brighton. Josh won at first doubles against Canandaigua, marking his 100th career victory. And now Sticky Lips Barbecue presents our Athlete of the Week. Is your high school looking to raise money? Sticky Lips has you covered. Check out our community barbecue fundraisers. Sticky Lips Barbecue quality is an easy sell. Visit StickyLipsBBQ.com for more details. Maddie Howe Fairport is fighting through injuries again, but the girls' lacrosse player of the year is back again. 3 years ago, Maddie Howe's lacrosse career was put on hold, and her soccer career ended by a knee injury. Injuries all too common with elite, especially female athletes. 9 months ago, she did it again, to the other knee.
I couldn't stand here and tell you how hard it is until you've really gone through it, honestly. It's pretty challenging, but definitely rewarding in the end. It makes you value everything more. Like, you know, I've played so many games in my lifetime, but itching to come back out here, and it's my senior year, I only have a few games left. I think it makes you value everything more, makes you mentally stronger, makes you tougher for sure.
Nice. Are you limited at all out there as a result?
A little bit. I'll probably only be playing half the scrimmage today, just to be precautionary, just to make sure that, nothing, crazy happens in a scrimmage, and as the games go on, I'll start playing more and more until I'm back at full strength.
In that window of opportunity between knee injuries, Howe was, simply put, the best lacrosse player in the section. Monroe County and All Greater Rochester Player of the Year and an All-American. The then junior midfielder scored 53 goals and accepted a scholarship offer from Notre Dame. As far as Fairport is concerned, the best news is that she's back.
So we're super excited to have Maddie. Obviously, we're going to incorporate her game as slowly as possible and until she's at 100% strength. But, when she's on the field, it makes a tremendous impact on our team. It just elevates the level of play. She's a tremendous leader, and the girls respect her very much.
I played lacrosse since I was in kindergarten. My mom didn't play in high school, but her best friend did. And she threw a stick in my hand and said, you know what, just try it. And I fell in love with it ever since and haven't stopped since I was in kindergarten.
Wow. Kindergarten's pretty young. I mean, I hear second grade all the time, but kindergarten's pretty exceptional.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I know there's some girls here who started in 7th grade, 8th grade. I just happened to catch the bug a little earlier than they did.
Fairport was 14-4 last year, a sectional finalist, losing to Pittsford in the championship game. With Howe, AGR keeper Isabel Hofford, and Hofstra-bound senior Brittany Pollock, Fairport's positioned for another title run.
The team has been very, very responsive to me and being a new coach in our system, and they want to work hard and they're willing to do whatever it takes to be successful this year. We have a lot of tough teams coming up in the first start, so we're going to take one game at a time and do the best we can, and hopefully it'll turn out in our favor.
Kathleen Ostar is new, a career lacrosse coach with a collegiate background. You're breaking in a new coach.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a two-way street. She has to get used to you. What does it take out of you guys getting used to her?
It just takes practice, and each day we build as a team and we understand each other more.
Are there different points of emphasis, do you think?
No, it's usually the same every year, just teamwork and passing it around and everyone gets a touch.
We've got like 13 seniors, 14 seniors on the team this year. We're really pumped. We're really excited about what we can make happen this year, and we think that if we can work really hard as a team and play some team ball, then we can make a run for sure.
1, 2, 3, game on!
We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially the 11 dealerships of the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible, as do you. Thanks once again for watching. We'll see you next week with the Vision High School Sports Beat.